Good day, sir. This is our Chapter 1 defense. It is titled Analysis of Effectiveness and Challenges Regarding the Use of Information Communication Technologies, or ICTs, among the students of St. John Bosco School Year 2020 to 2021. And this is a presentation of Cal Mendoza, Rosemarie Yusores, and me, Charles Del Rosario. So in this study, this includes title page, introduction, background of the study, conceptual framework, statement of the problem, hypothesis, significance of the study, and review of related literature.
Introduction. Our research topic is about effectiveness and challenges regarding the use of information communication technologies in our chosen population, which is part of the process. Knowing its effectiveness and challenges in the line of education of the students who gradually taking a part of things that they might encounter in the process of learning about the ICT servicing. The capabilities of ICT students, its preparedness in the upcoming current digital era. Background of the study. According to the Obama 2002, ICT is a broad term that has to do with the harnessing process. This tells that it has this efficiency of set programming activities geared towards the achievements of clearly defined goals. In our schematic diagram, it contains input which gives you a questions that is highly needed to know its answer. The process, which is the actions you will going to do and going to develop. The output, which give you the final or the result of your actions from the process and input.
In conceptual framework, in the illustration we will going to show here how we conduct our study in process. In the first part, we will going to plan the profile of those students that we interview in our study, and that we called input. In process, if we were going to convince the principal or the supervisor for the approval of our survey or the interview in their ICT students. In output, we will conduct our result in interview, and that is the potential career of the associate graduates. In the second one, in input, we will going to conduct the question of what are the effects of not having knowledge in an ICT strand. And after that, we will going to distribute our survey for the associate graduates, and after we going to get the answer of the associate graduates student, we will going to study their answers and put on our study. The third one, we're conducting the question of what are those technical skills they have and what are those that makes them terrified in their course. After that, we will going to gather all the data that we got from. And lastly, we will produce our study and present to our professor. In the statement of the problem, first question is what is the profile of the student and how it affects for them according to their gender, grade level, and section. What are the differences of getting ICT strand according to your profile? And we relate this in our title because it gives the effectiveness and challenges of getting ICT strand. In 1.1, gender, because we're seeing that ICT strand is not fit for the women and it affects of finding for their job, so it is one of the cause of having challenges for them. In 1.2, grade level, we do not gather the study of all ICT strands. We're just going to choose to gather their data. In 1.3 section, not to generalize our study, just focus in group variables. And the second one question, what are the effects of not having knowledge in ICT strand in terms of technical skills and resources? In 2.1 technical skills, not all ICT student is skillful when it comes in programming, repairing a computer, low skill level in mathematics, solving problem, and etc. And it affects for this strand because it is necessary to have this kind of all skills. In 2.2, which is resources, some of students is no gadgets or computer that they use in their study, so it affects for them because it can cause late in learnings.
On our hypothesis, we chose alternative hypothesis as our hypothesis because this will test out our significance of the study that we did. We chose alternative hypothesis because on the study that we conducted on St. John Bosco students, we observed that most of the students in St. John Bosco had challenges. They were challenged in that course, and they had faced conflicts on that course because some of them are unfamiliar in that course, so they had difficulties in understanding the ICT course. And because of that, we now know the possibilities of the students to know what are they going to expect in the ICT course. So in short, we chose alternative hypothesis to test our theory about the challenges that they're going to face, the conflicts that they're going to face, and it became true that they faced challenges and conflicts. So it's good that we chose the alternative hypothesis for our study. Significance of the study. The instructional design will help to enhance the knowledge of the students in terms of understanding and knowing their desired course. What are the challenges that they can face and the effectiveness of their chosen course. The outcome of the study will be useful in several ways. Hopefully, the results will benefit the following. So, what I'm trying to say here in significance of the study is to let them know more about the course that they're going to take, the ICT course, and what are the challenges that they're going to face, and also the conflicts that they're going to face in the ICT course. We hope that this will be useful to them in several ways, and we also hope that uh, this will be beneficial to both students and the teachers. So number one is the students. So why the students? Because we want them to know more about their desired course, the ICT course, and to let them know why their desired course can be very challenging, especially for those students who is not familiar in computers. And because of that, they might learn something. They might learn even more about that desired course, and eventually they can become interested in their course, and someday they might even be successful in that course. And number two is the teachers. They can use this analysis as an example to the students to learn more on their course and guide them. So what I mean about this is they can use the analysis to further explain what is ICT course to the students, and to let them know what are the challenges and the conflict that they might face, and eventually students can follow. Students can follow, especially for those people who aren't familiar with that course, or they aren't familiar with computers. And eventually the students can follow, and some of them can be successful at that course, at that ICT course. And sometime in the future they might have good careers because of the teachers. And yeah, that's all for significance of the study. Review of related literature. This study investigates and explores the adoption of information communication technology by the School of St. John Bosco and the impact it makes on the students' academic performance. So this means that in this review of related literature, it investigates the course of St. John Bosco, which is information communication technology, and we are finding what are the impact it makes on the students' academic performance, if there are really significant changes or not. And the study also examines the moderator's effect of gender, GPA, and student majors on the relationship between ICT and academic achievement. And in this part, it also investigates if there are also impacts on gender, GPA, and student majors. And we are finding, or also finding the impact of it, if it makes a difference or not. So by using quantitative research approach and a sample size of 50 students, the data were collected about the ICT adoption in and the relative performance of students belonging in school. So we used quantitative research approach and also a sample of 50 students on St. John Bosco. We have collected a data about the ICT adoption and the performance of the students belonging in this school. And we found out that there's a relationship between ICT adoption and academic performance in a conservative environment. Information and communication technology, or in short ICT, represents an enormous opportunity to introduce significant and lasting positive change across the developing world. The rapid penetration of mobile access in particular has resulted in considerable improvements in the lives of the poor in both rural and urban contexts. So this means that ICT has also made an improvements on the lives in both poor and urban contexts. We also found an additional info that the ICT adoption resulted in improvement of performance of female students more than male. So in short, ICT adoption increases the females' performance rather than males. However, the student's IT major was found to be making no impact on research academic achievement. So in short, IT major has really no impact in what is the achievement of a student. A discussion of findings, limitations, and suggestions for future research has been provided in the study. Finally, it also provides implication of the current study to the existing knowledge. So, in short, our review of related literature is all about investigating if there is an impact. For example, as I've said, uh, if this has an effect or impact on the student's academic performance, uh, also the gender, the GPA, and the student majors, and the academic achievement of the students. So that is all. That is what is all about in this review of related literature. And that is all, sir. Uh, Thank you for listening, and I hope you liked our chapter 1 defense.